Hey everyone, Snake Onyx here, welcome back to the video. Today we are doing Detective Void SCP-5514 or 5514, aka the Dragonslayer. So I am assuming this guy originated in Japan based on its name because dragons are typically more of a pop culture thing there. Like, I know that during the yearly festival they used to do that. I don't know if they do anymore. And I'm not trying to be racist, I'm not trying to be stereotypical, I'm just stating the facts of what they used to be. Because I know they used to do that. I don't know if they do it now anymore. Anyways, let's get on the video. In 3, 2, 1, play. There's gonna be a bit of editing too. I love that. Oh, wait a minute. That's a new intro. Listen. The story that these objects were created based on the collective sci-fi literary project the SCP Foundation, exclusively from entertainment purposes. This series is fiction taking place in the alternate universe of Detective Void. He made the intro upgraded. Nice. Wait, let me see. Let me redo the whole intro and see. Oh, that is definitely upgraded. Oh yes, that's upgraded. I love it.
An Ophidian monster appeared just off the coast of Tokyo.
I called it. I called it. It was in Japan. I called it.
It was approaching the city, which was already being evacuated, when a futuristic robot descended from the sky. Right there in the water, they began their battle. Many of Tokyo's residents stop and offer up their praise to the Dragonslayer in that instant. It produces an unexpected effect. The Ophidian monster retreats into the depths of the Gulf. Several smaller creatures go along with it. The Defender robot bows its head slightly, lifting something that looks like a hat from its head. It gives off the impression that it would like to be congratulated, but a plasma circle flares up on its hat, and the robot fires at its adversary. The weapon decapitates one monster, and on its return obliterates
Jesus, wait, kill the babies.
Pulls out a 65-foot sword and, zooming through the air, begins
to
destroy its enemies.
Immediately.
At this moment, the giant reptile lets out a wild roar, and all the smaller creatures make for the robot protector. The decapitated monster grows a new head, and it's unexpectedly shot at the robot from 130 feet, barely leaving a dent in the mechanical warrior's foot. It dodges the blow and with a precise swoop of its sword, bisects the creature. Then the robot begins to fire at its main adversary with its shoulder weapons. The snake tries to hide in the water with a shriek, but the robot takes advantage of that moment. He brings down a blow on the monster's head, and then cleaves its body all the way up to its fin tail. The crowds on the shore praise the Dragonslayer once more while he finishes off the smaller monsters. This really could have been a Hollywood blockbuster.
Yes, it really could have.
It was the first time SCP-5514 had been put to the test. Although it feels like I've watched such a film, and what's more, MTF-ETA-5 who control the robot defender are called Jaeger bombers. The object is
okay. That's not good. That's not good. Title.
Class. That tells us the probability of the robot threatening human existence is extremely low, but nevertheless, it's been marked as a danger for its risk class. This is indicative of the serious level of damage and the large number of victims in close proximity to SCP-5514. Avoiding these casualties is impossible due to the nature of the object. The robot is an anomalous mechanical suit with a humanoid shape. It was created by the SCP Foundation in collaboration with the Global Occult Coalition and the connected state organization Hy Brasil. But first things first. They began building the object in 1988 under the codename The Key Project. The destruction of Site-03 by an unidentified aggressor who birthed the MH-class large-scale aggressor overrun scenario served as a sufficient cause. A site was built for keeping watch of the mysterious ghost island, Hy Brasil. Mention of it still crops up in Irish mythology. Just like the Foundation's site, the secret state seemed powerless against the aggressor, taking into account the presence of different beings able to...
I think that one's Kane or SCP-343. Oh, that one's the human, I think, with the planet chest. And that's... I mean, it's the SCP that makes noises, like advertising. What's it called? Dang, it's in my head. I remember what it looks like. Yeah, I know what it looks like.
Caused the mentioned scenario, the organization decided to create a protector. The subject of the film Pacific Rim, with its kaiju, quite accurately describes the event which occurred
What
on
is
Earth
Pacific
during
Rim?
the 20th century. Only in reality, these monsters are impervious to the majority of traditional forms of attack, including mental ones. A construction made of normal iron, therefore, is of no use. In 1992, the Foundation, the GOC, and High Brazil drafted an international security agreement. And after the destruction of Site-03, the key project was declassified, and its creation continued together with parts of the aforementioned agreement. Creators started using anomalous objects and traits to build SCP-5514. As a result, the object received a series of anomalous characteristics and weapons. It was built to resemble the colossal SCP-2406, a controlled mechanism made of iron, 300 feet tall, weighing nearly 210 tons. The ancient Mechanite race had created it to protect themselves against anomalous entities. The material forming SCP-5514 was partially...
Is that Iron Man's glove?
transferred to a pocket dimension, which helped to lower its weight significantly, preserving its integrity. The dwarf star SCP-037 became the object's power supply, and it was placed in the object's chest. What's more, only 1% of the star's expended energy was used to keep the mechanism functional. All remaining power could be used in battle. SCP-5514 is able to create and control an independent gravitational field, allowing it to fly. It's worth noting that this ability arose as a consequence of making a mistake in setting up its airflow system. It was decided not to resolve this error, and moreover, not to remove its effects. Members of the GOC and High Brazil assisted in creating the object's and pilot's metaphysical defense. Anomalous creatures, which SCP-5514 was supposed
a chalice, a pyramid, a necklace, a book, and a type of headpiece,
to fight against were ancient creations. They relied on particular laws of the universe and partially on mind power.
Leviathan.
This is neither fantasy
That's
nor
what the
fairy
creature
fiction.
was. It's called
The
Leviathan.
scientifically confirmed method of the placebo effect is proof of this.
That's about
Using
what the
corresponding knowledge, specialists have connected SCP-5514 with the concepts of Earth, human resilience, and intractability. Each of these characteristics carries potentially powerful energy. They're transferred to the object, making it practically invincible, and its pilots practically indefatigable. In order to penetrate the metaphysical defense of anomalous enemies, SCP-5514 has been linked to ancient archetypes and myths. For this, the Foundation used subconscious and mimetic propaganda, which drew the attention of a quarter of the world's population. As a result, without knowing it themselves, people support the belief that the object created by the Foundation is the Dragonslayer from Celtic myth. It's thought he's been sent by God to destroy ancient monsters. Such powerful mental support has supplied the object with a pataphysical mantle. It's allowed SCP-5514 to acquire a weapon with anomalous characteristics. High Brazil's royal court presented it with a 65-foot sword made from cold iron. Wounds inflicted by this blade do not heal, but the metal's anomalous properties depend on belief in them. One more technique which empowers the pataphysical mantle is referred to as the 1,000-word arrows weapon. It entails 7 authors constantly writing and reading aloud texts on the deaths of SCP-5514's enemies. They're also broadcast via loudspeaker during battles in order to weaken and demoralize adversaries. A similar technique was used during the Vietnam War. The object is provided with martial weapons too. Apart from its huge blade, they've equipped it with a missile plasma weapon. It's secured to the robot's head, and
so they basically stole a Mortal Kombat hat. Okay, when I'm editing this, I want you to put the picture right here. Thank you. Yeah, you can see similarities.
Therefore looks similar to a hat. The plasma ring is activated by pilots, and the built-in electromagnets return it after its launch. An electromagnetic railgun has also been set up on the Dragonslayer's shoulders. It's capable of changing gravitation, so that the projectiles are launched with great velocity. A plasma blade has been fastened to the right side of the object. It can get the better of any material, but has limited application in battle, and is designated for emergency situations only. Against insurmountable odds, SCP-5514 has yet another trick up its sleeve. Using its emergency ventilation shaft, it can release some of the dwarf star's energy, but releasing that energy is fraught with the destruction of the object itself and the exhaustion of its resources. The Dragonslayer's operational debut took place in 1998 off the coast of Tokyo. Work on the object still had not been concluded then, but it successfully dealt with the task. Soon its help was needed again. In Montezuma, Georgia, United States,
Is that
an
a
attack
place?
led by new creatures was recorded. 5 650-foot arachnids
They weren't other SCPs, there were different dimensions. Oh, I thought they were other SCPs.
appeared there. They kept their balance with 2 legs, and the remaining ones to attack. Smaller creatures swarmed all around. They put great mental pressure on the crew, so that they were only able to monitor them with the help of counter-conceptual filters. The Dragonslayer wasn't coping too badly with the adversaries, until the filters made him malfunction. The object had to slash blindly with its sword, but this didn't seem to be the most effective strategy. Suddenly, to the robot's benefit, another anomalous object appeared. A gigantic snake covered in iridescent feathers emerged from the sky above the battlefield. The pilots had no choice but to accept its aid. Together, they overcame the arachnids, forming an alliance in doing so. They had to enter yet another battle side by side with the snake SCP-5514. Their adversary was the creature responsible for destroying
Okay, that. Oh wait, no,
Cycle-3
that was
and
that's
part of High Brazil. It had a body of a cephalopod, 10 tentacles, and the head of a crocodile. The object was considered dead in 1988 following this incident, but it turned out that it had been revived during the experimental anastasis program and had been fully equipped with biotechnological features.
Oh,
In addition to all
crap.
this, the crocodilian possesses numerous thaumatological abilities, regeneration, and can radiate life energy.
What does that
A
mean?
decisive battle took place on the coast of Greenland. The Kraken suddenly took hold of the snake, pulling it away from SCP-5514. When the robot arrived to help it, its companion had already suffered several serious wounds. The Dragonslayer entered into battle, but its adversary suddenly shot out an energy beam, melting the robot's railgun. After this, the Kraken was in a position of decisive victory. It tore the snake to pieces with 5 tentacles, all the while striking the robot's head with a flurry of blows. Then the creature took hold of SCP-5514's sword and cut off the robot's legs. Captain Rosales, who had headed the pilot team, saw how their opponent was moving towards the snake and opened the emergency ventilation shaft. All of the dwarf star's energy burst out from the shaft. The plasma ray even fried the snake somewhat, but it survived. The same could
thank
not be
God.
said for the crocodilian. Following this incident, the Foundation and linked organizations dealt with anomalous creatures without SCP-5514's help. Its use has now been limited to emergency situations with permission from the Overseer Council. I had to leave
FEO.
out a lot of details so as not to make a feature-length film instead of a clip.
That's-
But if you want to know
that
more about the
clip.
incidents, creatures of organizations I've mentioned, leave a message in the comments. There are a lot more interesting things I can tell you about.
Nope. Nope. There was no way I was going to feature this. I was not going to get sued. There you go. That's better. Right. So, tell me what you all think. Did you all think it was amazing? I did. My theory was where its origin came from. Well, where it was cited, but not about who created it, though. I knew it was in Japan based on the name. On the name. What is this? Actually, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that people just. No, I'm actually gonna look up now. Did Dragon myth originate in Japan? I have to look this up. Holy crap! Japanese dragon. All the right. This is it's actually mythology. No wonder why I knew it. It was in mythology. Okay, well, but still, I appreciate every one of my Asian fans out there, if I have any even. Shout out to all my Asian fans. But in all seriousness, I've actually watched a few other people. Indigo, Buzz, never watched it. See them. But now I've seen that, I need to also watch SCP Explained again. So you know what? I'm gonna do that. Oh, I have to watch. I have to watch this one instead of Refuted because that's gonna suck very much. So, actually, it looks like both of you were more recent. Okay, I'm guessing. Anyways, I got off topic. I'm going to watch another Detective Void video tomorrow or the next day. I'm trying to create a diverse channel a little bit, like not just based on reactions. So yeah, I also start to work on the animation, and I have to watch the SCP Explained. So yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want more Snake Onyx reaction videos. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. I have watched a lot of SCP videos all my life. Detective Void was one of the few who actually who I watched, even though I was one of the SCP people. I also watched SCP Explained a bit earlier. But I'm gonna watch them a little bit too, just out of fun and curiosity. So yeah, hit the like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want more videos. I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.